Vibe Show 97.9 in full effect. Y'all already know the vibes. Y'all know what it is. We always got something special for y'all, so y'all make sure y'all keep it locked in. Don't go nowhere. I mean, why would you? We got a special guest coming up tonight. Y'all keep it locked. It's the Vibe Show. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good.
This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me. I mean, float on, float on, float on. This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me.
Vibe Show 97.9. I'm your host, Kano the Don, back with another exclusive. And I'm going to tell you, I'm super excited about this one. A lot of people excited about it. I got emails pouring in behind this special guest right here. A lot of questions as well. I got a few questions myself. Now, don't let the smile fool you. Now, I'm telling you, this person here, this queen, I'm talking about CEO, entrepreneur, pharmacist, host, and social media influencer. Multiple hats this queen wear right here. I'm talking about the one, the only, the very lovely Dr. Robin B.
Yes. Nice to see you.
How you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Listen, blessed, feeling good, due to the circumstances we are pushing through.
Yeah.
I'm excited though, very, very excited and honored to have you on the show. So on behalf of me, the Vibe team, Vibe Promotions, we just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little while.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, listen, you're always killing it with the looks now. Now, the looks is on the all-time high. You just never know how you're coming. You're always switching up on us or whatever. Got an amazing smile. And I just love the way that you're touching people on so many different levels. So this is definitely a special show today. And like I said, I'm very, very excited to have you on the Vibe Show.
Me too. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get into it. Now, wearing multiple hats is one thing that I'm very, very excited about. And, it's not really easy. You're making it look easy, but it's not an easy task. And you're in a very, very demanding and very needed field.
Yeah.
So I would like to start there before we get off into the other things that you bless the world with. I want to start off with going into the pharmaceutical world in that space because it is a challenging space to be in. And I would like to know what really influenced you to want to go into that space and that line of that industry.
Yeah. So, I've always had an interest in medicine and science since I was little. I first got into it with my grandfather. I was in charge of making sure he took all his medications. And so he loved me for that. And I just had a knack for it. So that's what, catapulted me into the field of just healthcare as a whole. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, whether it would be nursing, doctor, MD doctor, or even dentistry. I contemplated for a while, but what I suggest everyone out there who's trying to figure it out for themselves is to kind of put yourself in that environment to see if you like it. And so that's what I did. So as soon as I had graduated college, I got a job at CVS. And I had already worked for multiple doctors' offices. So I was a medical scribe at one point. So I was taking all the notes while the doctor was talking, getting the prescriptions for the patients. So I did all of that and realized that wasn't for me, but pharmacy felt more like home. It was a more flexible environment. I could actually still have that patient conversation every single day. And so, the interaction and the actual work seemed fitting for me. So with that pharmacy technician background, it was, I looked good on the application to go to be a pharmacist.
Right.
So that's really the steps. Having volunteer hours, experience, and throwing yourself out there to see what you like and then pursuing it.
Right. Now you know what that tells me? That tells me that you're a very patient person, because
Very.
it takes patience in that space right there. So I know that you're a very patient person, and you definitely have to have a passion for working with people and actually helping people, and that's a really, really good thing. I know too. I noticed you attribute a lot of your path choosing to moms. We got to give props to moms. So now, was anybody else, was moms in that field as well, or what kind of spiraled it?
Yeah. So yes. So my mom is my best friend. That's my girl.
Shout out to mama.
I love her. Hey, mom, if you're listening. I just love her drive and what she does. She also works in healthcare, but she does more on the system side. So she's building the systems that are implemented in the hospitals, for the military. She's very active with that.
Right.
For me, I just saw her work ethic as inspiration. And what I think was a good environment to grow up in was that she wasn't pushing me in any sort of direction. She just said, hey, do what makes you happy. But I just always looked at her for motivation. Anybody else that motivated me, I'd say just other Black women that look like me that were out there doing it. So I would just keep track, especially because I've been on social media since MySpace days.
Are you serious?
Yep.
She said MySpace. Oh my God.
Throwback.
Speak, not to cut you off, but speaking of MySpace, I'm not gonna lie. MySpace was really, really dope, though. I'm not gonna lie. The way they would let you customize your pages, wouldn't that be amazing if Instagram would allow you to just, some of the tools that MySpace had was just like amazing.
Wow.
Our page was crazy. I wish I could remember my password, because somebody came on here and they mentioned MySpace as well. And they was like, yo, I still got my page up.
I know. I'm showing my age for sure, but I loved MySpace. I just kind of, as the app started to go, Twitter was next, and then now it's Instagram. But I just think it's a source of inspiration. Right.
Now, I just think that this space that you're in, when it comes down to being a pharmacist, I just find it intriguing, to be honest with you, because it's so many different layers that come along with it. With being in a space like that, you have to. Can we kind of talk about like that space just a little bit for people, because I got a lot of emails in. People that it's different when you always wonder, you come up there and you have to know when you're dealing with medicines, and it's a certain trust level there as well. When you talking about people's prescriptions and stuff like that. So like, how does that work when you have a prescription that needs to be filled or whatever? Okay, is that called in a certain type of way? Like, can we kind of talk about the process?
Pharmacy as a whole, for sure. I love educating. That's the number one thing I do. And I feel like being an advocate for a field that's not talked about, like pharmacy is very important, because like you said, the patience that goes into it, the knowledge that we learn, it's definitely very important. So a typical day of a pharmacist, you're in the pharmacy, whether it be, there's many different settings. So whether it be the retail setting, which we all know, which is our CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Walmart, Target, that is called retail or community.
Okay.
So basically, in those settings, you don't have to go to residency, which is an extra 1 to 2 years to specialize.
Right.
You actually just go straight into the work field after you graduate.
Right.
So with that, you are basically like, you are not just filling prescriptions. You're not just pill pushing. You're basically communicating with the doctor if they made a mistake, if
Right.
there's a different dose or different medication that you would suggest, because you have to know how the body works, as like the doctors do. Like doctors in the hospitals are educated about how the body works together. We have to know all of that because we have to know how the body works in the body.
Wow.
So we know what to prescribe, just like the doctors do. So a lot of times we're doing damage control. We're like, okay, because they have so much other things to focus on in their education, like how to diagnose, they're doing actual testing. So they don't really know as much about medicine, at times. And we're the experts. We're the medication experts. They're not considered the medication experts. So if we see something, there's an interaction, we give them a call and we adjust the medication for the safety of the patient.
Wow. Now that's interesting. Now I didn't know that. I didn't know that you could actually. Okay, so let's just say, for example, a doctor prescribes something for a patient, and the patient comes there, and you see a discrepancy there. You actually have the power to actually change something or call the doctor and make a different suggestion.
Yep. So you do recommendations. A lot of our job is recommendations. Going through and looking at, the patient's lab, what's their diagnosis, even from a retail setting. If you're a good pharmacist, you're looking into the patient more and you're not just approving every single prescription that comes across, especially when it comes to pain medications, right? There's the opioid epidemic. And so we don't want to just continually just approve all of these prescriptions. Sometimes we'll be like, okay, we can go down on a dose, or do you consider tapering this? But yeah, we definitely have the power to make suggestions.
That is fascinating to me. Like I never knew that, because like, how you come in and, you see the pretty white jacket, you're thinking like, okay, cool. This is all that kind of goes into it. But, hearing this is quite interesting, because it's just like, wow, I didn't know that it entailed that much detail that actually goes into being a pharmacist. Now, being a pharmacist, there's the pharmacist, and then is that what's the other person? Is that like the helper, or like what's that title?
Yeah, and just to go back and add, I just want the community to understand too, their local pharmacist is a hub that they can go to for free information. You don't have to have insurance. Think about it. We know pretty much what the doctors know, right? We didn't diagnose you, but if you tell us, what's going on, we know how to treat it, which is the most important thing. Just to know what's happening without knowing how to fix it is half the battle. So you guys can come up to the pharmacist and ask, hey, I have this going on. What do you recommend? With OTC drugs, over-the-counter drugs, you guys can come to us and ask. So just feel safe with your pharmacist to ask any questions. Back to the question of the support team in the pharmacy, that's how I started off, as the pharmacy tech. So the technician really does a lot. They're the pill pushers. They're the people who, they may not know how the drugs work, but they're familiar with the drug names, the looks of the drug, and making sure that, patients get the right medication. And that's pretty much the scope of what they do. But there's a lot of new laws happening where they're able to even vaccinate, especially with COVID coming out. It's a lot of things and changes for the tech.
Right. Now, that spirals into my next question.
Okay.
With the COVID situation or whatever, because like I said, this it basically hit everybody by storm. Nobody could have none of us could have been prepared for that tsunami coming in or whatever. And I know that being in that space, I know it had to have added a lot of pressure on you, and you have to maintain a sense of control when all of this is going on, so much death going on, a lot of questions have to be answered. People are afraid. Can we talk about the point when COVID actually hit and it impacted, when the impact hit you guys? What was that effect like, and that feeling when this thing just happened out the blue, and it's just like red alarm, like everything is just all over the place?
Yes. I can remember that vividly. The funny thing is, a lot of people got to quarantine, but we didn't. Frontliners were outside. I even was at a store that was looted, at a retail pharmacy that was looted during the activism and all of that. So it's just that it was hectic. Everything was happening at once. And then people didn't understand that quarantine, or the idea of it, was because the healthcare infrastructure was overwhelmed. Right. So there was too many, sick patients for the hospital's beds. So it wasn't about, yes, it was safer to stay home, but we needed more people. We needed more hands on these patients. Right. And until that alleviated, we weren't able to kind of open up again. So for me, I just never got a break. I was still out on the front line, but I really was just staying, positive and faithful that this was going to turn around. And I could kind of, just being in the field, predict things like how the vaccine is so important right now. I was like one of the first people to get it. And, just because I knew I give the vaccine as well. So it's really, my job to educate and learn. And I did multiple reports and research on the vaccine and COVID-19 itself. So just staying up to date, because treatment ultimately is what we want. Right. So it was like a pharmacist that was going to really know what to give the patient.
Right. And I'm glad that we're touching on this, because I just feel like it's so important. And I that was another thing that stood out to me when I was introduced to your platform. And it was another one of the things that really intrigued me as well, because I know it's a lot that goes into that, but it's also a lot of questions that people still have to this day. And it's interesting hearing you say that, you got the vaccine, because you hear so many different stories, so many different theories out there. How comfortable are you just talking about that just a little bit? We don't have to dive too deep into it, because I know, your profession or whatever. And I wouldn't want to compromise that, but it is typical questions that people have. People are still a little weary about it or whatever, because now here's another variant coming into place. Now it's like, does it end, or how safe are the vaccines, just from your experience on your side?
Right. Well, from my experience, I was in the environment where I was at a high risk. And so that's your first step, is to assess, are you working from home? You may not need that vaccine. You may have low exposure. For me, I'm surrounded by sick patients. People are coming to the pharmacy because they feel, weird, and they're looking for treatment. You have to be safe. Unfortunately, around the beginning of December, I actually contracted COVID myself.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep. And so just knowing how the disease, it didn't hit me hard at all, but just knowing how it was. Yeah. And I just didn't like it. And a lot of people I know, because I'm in a high trafficked area. I'm in Los Angeles, California. So it wasn't a surprise to me that I could do everything to keep myself safe, but I, still end up contracting it. I'm in the hospital. And at that time I was on rotation. So I was traveling every 6 weeks to a new location. Wow. So it wasn't a fun thing. And so the vaccine for me was a preventative measure. I knew, like you said, the variants, what was at stake, but I also know the community I'm talking to, which is the Black community. We have history with just distrust in the healthcare system or vaccines as a whole, but I've never been personally anti-vax. So I got the flu shot every year. Right. It's different. It's coming from a perspective of, I'm always just trying to protect myself. And what we don't know, I know it sounds bad, won't hurt us, but there's not enough time that this vaccine has been released for us to know the long-term implications.
Right.
We can't, and no one can. No expert, nobody can. But you can't be fearful of something either. Go ahead.
I definitely get that, because I think that was one of my things that, the thing that kind of bothered me. Like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am a conspiracy theorist type.
Okay.
I look into that type of stuff. I just feel like, in all honesty, I don't believe everything, but then at the end of the day, I don't think that all the conspiracy theorists people lying too. You know what I mean? It's got to be some thin line of truth there. Some, I mean,
Oh my
would you
God.
agree though? Would you agree?
I would agree, but I don't think that way.
You know,
I am a scientist at heart, so I go off of scientific fact.
right?
And that's just kind of what we refer back to research. And that's just kind of what it is, because think about all the things we put in our body every day and we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is. And I looked at that too, Robin. I looked at that too. I thought about that too. I was like, well, at the end of the day, consciously, you well, unconsciously, you're thinking like you're going and sit in a chair and you just know that this chair is going to hold you up.
Right.
Somebody put this chair together. You didn't put it together. So what if it don't hold you?
Literally.
Look,
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just saying though. So I try to look at it. I'm not a one-dimensional thinking type of
Right.
person. I mean, I try to look at all angles. It just has to make some form of sense to me. And I just think that it's so. I don't think it's ever been this much stuff going on at one time, Robin. I just think it's overwhelming at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You got the racism issues. You got the LGBT community battling with people. You got the medicine people battling with each other. You got COVID. Here's another variant of it. It done found its way from jujitsu. I don't know how we get over here, but it's here now.
And it's here. And what can you do about it but take the antidote? What can you do?
Yeah.
It's like, even if it's man-made, they made the cure too. Like, duh, that was gonna come. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, what are you gonna do? If you are in a low-risk environment, cool, by all means. If that was me, I probably, why? I'll just wait for the disease to be eradicated. But if I'm out there facing it head on every day,
you need some type of protection. Right. Now, let me ask you this now, because I just think that it's really in a weird space when you're, we got a giveaway now. We got a $1 million giveaway to get I'm just trying to figure it out, Robert. Can you please?
I knew this was going to come. That's why I said, you know what? Well, guinea pig me.
Can I put my name in the hat for the meal though?
No, right?
I'm like, dang, is it that bad? Like, because the ultimate goal is to get everybody in the world
herd immunity. That's always the goal, herd immunity.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Or quarantine forever. Which one?
Yeah. But then you're always gonna have the people that go against the grain, who just like, the hell with it all. I'm going out and have a good time.
Oh no, I don't want to be around those people.
I know. So it's just like, I just feel like we just in a weird space, because we come from a different era where we you can have fun. It's always been things going on in the world, but I don't think it's been this 3D. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's real. COVID is real,
right?
Can attest just to the overall, like, what? 2 of my senses were gone. That's it. That's all that really happened. I couldn't smell or eat or taste. Right. And I'm like, that's 2 of my 5 senses. No. Like, I never want to feel that again.
Right. And like,
it's just not, and it just made it more real, to me. So everybody has to have their personal opinion, their personal standpoint. Family, how many kids do you have? Are they bringing it home? Are they at daycare? Are they going back to school? Husband, or is he a doctor? Like, just assess your personal life. I'm not ever pushing a vaccine on anyone.
Right.
But I like to travel, and now they're asking for the card.
I'm about to whip my card out ASAP. There you go. I got to get on this plane.
I'm like, yes, I got the card right now. But
laminated and everything, right?
Everything around my neck, hanging.
Look, so I just, okay, so we in this weird space now, even with things opening back up. I think that everybody's so mentally weirded out to the point to where it's like, you even being around people, you still be kind of like, somebody might, sneeze at the grocery store or something. You'd be like, whoa. Hey,
And get mad. Yes.
do you think we'll ever get back to a form of normalcy, or that as we knew it is just a thing of the past?
I think we're always going to be skeptical that somebody, unless we ever hear on the news 0 cases,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or everybody's vaccinated. Not going to happen. So I think, just like the flu, there's some people each year who contract it. It's not, it'll take time for that to completely go away in my view. But I think it's pretty normal. I've seen a lot of people embrace each other again, hug each other. We have paper menus at some restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really shocked because it's only been a year.
Right.
And change. So
you're right. Now, I want to talk about as well, and thank you for going there with me. That means a lot.
I hope it helps.
I try to take advantage, Robin, when I have specialists on the show. Like, I just try to ask the things that I want to ask because it's coming from a place of experience. Yeah. And I always try to educate my listeners in any way that I can in this entertainment business. I always try to educate people as much as I can. So thank you so much for that. Now, I want to talk about this amazing pharmacy program that you have going on. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So are you referring to the podcast?
Yes.
Yes. So the Doe Show is, a weekly podcast that I have on YouTube. Now it's back because I can actually sit on the couch with my guests and we talk about different things because I'm in LA. Right. There's a lot of people in entertainment. There's a lot of people in film, but at the same time, they still have a way that they take care of their health. Mm-hmm. So the Doe Show is a way that we can, like you said, educate people from all walks of life. How do they take care of their health? If there's anything that I can interject or any advice I can give, or sometimes I learn from them. Mm-hmm. So I love just having diverse groups of people on the show to not only talk and educate, but they also demonstrate. So whether it's a smoothie or a recipe or a diet or ways they relieve stress, they can come on the show. I also carry the same message through my Instagram with edutainment, where I am dancing sometimes, showing that positive energy.
I think that's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And also educating at the same time. I'm like, I hope I capture them, with the dance, but read. Right.
Because you got to blend it up now, because people be paying attention but not paying attention. You got to grab them a different type of way now to get people attention.
I learned that the hard way.
Let me ask you this: has there ever been any, with you being in the profession that you're in, and shout out to people that's on the live right now, showing my special guest so much love, Mr. Lawton TV, Roman Stewart, showing my guest so much love. I am Dominique. People are coming into the room. Thank y'all so much for showing my special guest so much love. Let me ask you this though, Robin. Now, being in the space that you're in, and your approach with things is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any flack or backlash for, because I just feel like you're doing it and touching people a different type of way, but you got your traditional people who just, oh, she's a pharmacist. Why is she wearing that? Yeah. Why is she on the gram doing that, dancing and all of this stuff? That's not suitable for in this profession. Do you ever get any flack?
So I actually would say the people in the profession who are new graduates, people who understand they're keeping up with the times,
right.
They understand social media is the wave, even for a pharmacist or an independent pharmacy. If you're starting that's essentially your own business. You need social media to get going. So they're rooting me on. People in my school who graduated with me, they're rooting me on because they're like, wow, like I said, no one's doing that, advocating for pharmacy, because traditionally pharmacists are quiet. We are very extremely nerdy. Like you'd see doctors, MDs actually dancing, partying at the local clubs. Like they're more social. Right. But pharmacists are traditionally very just into every, molecule and chemical structure. We don't have time to kind of do that. So I just know that I'm unconventional, and I'm unapologetically unconventional, and I don't mind being that pioneer. So they're rooting me on, but then of course people don't understand. From outside looking in, like you said, that attention span is very short. So I've heard that, I could look like a nurse, because think about it. Traditionally, a lot of nurses are attractive, and a lot of them just wear the scrubs. I'm not always in my white coat because I don't need to always boast that I'm a doctor. Even medical doctors wear just scrubs. So it's just really, I think it comes down to what your story is, continuously educating people, knowing that, once they know the wealth of knowledge that you have, they'll be able to not judge you, because we can't help how we look, but we did the same degree as your local pharmacist. We went through the same program. So it just comes down to people taking time to look at the full picture. And I think that a lot of people love the positive energy. It's made them pay attention more than they would if somebody's just spitting facts.
I'm digging it. I mean, I love it, and I feel that, and like you said, we're constantly evolving. The world is evolving, and I feel like you are you're reeling in the people that need to be reeled in. You're getting the attention from the people that I feel like really need it. You know what I mean? And sometimes and people are gravitating to you because you're bringing it down to where people can feel it. You know what I mean? It's not all like you said at the pharmacy,
Right.
putting the stuff
I
in.
wouldn't even pay attention. No.
I know, right? So I think that's super dope that you're utilizing all of your gifts. Your God-given beauty, you're utilizing that, your smile, your smarts, and incorporating it all with educating people about the importance of medicine, proper ways to take medicine, not overdoing it. It's so many different layers to you that I think that's just super amazing. And it's definitely a gift to the world. Now, wanting to go into the your health and wellness, like incorporating that into the podcast form. What inspired you to want to do that? I mean, I know everybody's podcasting, why not? But at the same time, I still, it's still a learning podcast as well. What inspired that though?
Yeah, so mine wasn't at the age of where everybody was podcasting. I started this 3 years ago.
Right.
So it was a new thing. I didn't really know where to begin. I didn't know the tools to use. I had to teach myself. But what was important is that people got a holistic view about what it means to be healthy. So, for example, my expertise is medication. And usually when you need the type of medication that I know how to give, whether it's very chronic illness or you're on your deathbed, it's too late by then.
Right.
So my purpose is kind of like, yes, I know pharmacy, but I also know the body and ways you can prevent disease. And so that's why on my platform, I talk about stress. I talk about fitness, my fitness journey. I transformed my body recently in the last 3 months, like from quarantine 15 to abs.
Right.
So I really go hard holistically. So whether it's outside, inside, mental, that's what I want people to realize. And I don't want people to think that it's only experts that know these things about how to be healthy. There's musicians that, musical therapy, there's fitness trainers that know exactly how to train. And the whole goal is to make your whole body healthy. So I'm different, unconventional in that sense too. I'm not trying to just push medications.
Right.
I'm pushing preventative measures you can take so you can avoid needing medications.
Right. Absolutely. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. That's why you own it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now, fan question from Nebraska. This Jonathan wanted to know how safe is it smoking herb? Is it healthy? How damaging is it really? And you're in LA, let's be clear. You're in LA. It's legal.
It is.
Vending machines, and it's a big corporation thing.
Mhm.
Being in the medical space, do you ever be like, or you like,
Right. So I wouldn't have to base it on my education simply because where I went, the school that I went to was a Christian
mhm,
based school. So we didn't focus like other pharmacy schools on cannabis. We focused on the FDA approved cannabis drugs that were for different things like hunger, like increasing appetite. There's FDA approved medications for things like that.
right,
So we kind of stayed on the safe side. But I know that there's a lot of pharmacists that really focus on the herbal side. For example, I personally topically don't mind CBD. It's actually in my I have a skincare line called Muze Labs, and I
and
have
we're going to get to that.
yes. And so in my moisturizer, I do have CBD. So I do know that it calms redness, especially on the skin. It's very soothing. But, personally, I don't see too much wrong with it. I know that for your nervous system, it's a downer. It's something that's going to relax you. So you may not use it chronically. I think everything in moderation is okay. But like I said, from an education license standpoint, I wouldn't suggest it to be necessary, but from my personal standpoint, why not?
Right. And I'm also asking, we got Mr. Lawton TV on here, and he's a connoisseur of it. And, I just wanted to be clear. Say,
I'm trying to be safe with the answer, but do you like whatever
yeah, absolutely.
in
Absolutely.
moderation for sure.
In moderation, fat.
He's
In
like, nope.
moderation now. Dr. Robin B says in moderation now. Okay, let's be clear here. Now, I do want to go into the skincare line a little bit more because I think that that's super super dope. How complicated is it when getting into creating brands and stuff like that? Because I know it's a lot, especially when we're talking about skincare here.
Yes.
Now, it's a different level with that right there. And I'm sure a lot that goes into testing, making sure
Mhm.
that, it don't break somebody's skin out, or, it has to be a brand on a line that we can trust. What was your thought process with wanting to come up with your own skincare line?
Well, it was a lot that like you said, that goes into it. So it's the typical things you have to do to set up a business, plus a lot of research, a lot of, testing it on yourself, on other people, getting true feedback. And so that's kind of like a couple months process where you are, sending the product out, having your friends and family try it. You're doing surveys, which are really helpful. I have a skincare quiz on my website where people are able to kind of put in their demographics, what their skin type is. But luckily, I created a product that's very safe. It's a vegan, animal cruelty free. It's very moisturized. It has no alcohols, parabens, no sulfur.
Mm,
So it's a very natural way to simply quickly cleanse your skin. So I kind of like went with a mild cleanser product.
right.
So it's not necessarily going to do anything like chronically, like remove acne or anything like that. But once you use it, you will see improvements on your skin. So yeah, so we tested that out, and then with the moisturizer, I've actually been testing it out because it just launched. So that's just me.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's amazing. I use it every single day. It feels so good on this, and all my products smell amazing.
And look, I might have to be the judge of that. I gotta,
Yeah,
put me an order in.
do it.
See what you're talking about. I gotta get some of that, some of the promotional content
Yeah.
as well, so we could actually help promote that too. Congratulations on that. We definitely want to help out with that. So I'll get with you off air, and we'll get those materials over, and we'll run that too to support that, and that will connect to the website where people can actually order and put their orders.
Wow. Thank you guys for that.
Got you on that.
And it's unisex, y'all. So it's for men and women or whatever you identify with.
Absolutely. Now, exploring a healthy lifestyle, you're an advocate for that. Um, let's talk about some ways that you've experienced as well with creating a healthier lifestyle. Because when you've been doing something for so long,
Yeah,
in your mind, we all want to do better.
of
You know what I
course.
mean? But it's sometimes it's not always a easy task. The effort, the mental effort is there, but
Right.
just getting to it. Let's talk about some of the things that you do and have shared with others as far as creating a healthier lifestyle.
Perfect. So I think the main ingredient here is discipline. Um,
Mm,
if anything my education taught me was how to be disciplined.
right,
You're doing 10 plus years of work and learning for free, essentially. You're giving your services for free. So that motivation and that discipline to do that is coming from a place of really, really, really like being inspired to continue to do it. So that's what I apply to everything I do. So whether it's at the gym, I utilize that same discipline and apply it there. So I set a time for myself, a goal for myself each week. So I
right,
think discipline is the key to solving everything, even your health. When you do anything consistently, you will see a result. So, whether you have a disease and you're not taking those medications, every day, if you do, you'll start to see a change. If you are, like you said, you're getting mundane, everything's getting boring, you really want a new goal, then set a
right.
new goal, but you have to lay that brick every single day with discipline.
Uh,
So that's what I say is the key to my success is just whether it be my mindset, whether it be, fitness, or whether it be my career, every single day I'm trying to perfect those things. So I'm reading to get my mindset. I'm meditating to get my mindset. I'm working out daily because nothing comes overnight.
right. I definitely agree with you on that. With wearing so many hats, um, what would you say has been the most challenging thing for you thus far? Let's just go with this year.
This year, I'd say, when it's your true passion, it kind of figures out a way to work for you. So as far as pharmacy, I just graduated recently and that process was like it just happened for me. It was meant for me. So I wouldn't consider that hard.
Right.
Um, but I would say business because when you fall off the horse, if I'm focused more on my studies and I can't focus on my business, it's hard to get that back. Or there's so many changes in the business world in social media and different apps and different ad spaces and different things. So you got to keep up. Got to keep
Mhm.
up. So I think the most challenging thing is trying to pick up where I left off with my businesses now that I'm graduated.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
that's
you need
that's
up more time
yeah.
to
And but
be
I'm
able
working on
to.
it.
Right. Well, you're doing a good job, and you know, and speaking of utilizing social media as a tool as well, I think that it's an amazing thing. But then at the same time, with being blessed with God given beauty, um, and being on social media, it has its you got them people on there too. You know what I mean? So ciphering through all of that, you know, it's hard. You know what I mean? So how difficult is it for you? Because the wolves, I already know. How difficult is it for you to try to separate being on social media, separate personal from being taken serious, as a pharmacist, and as a CEO and entrepreneur, in this social media space that world that we're living in right now.
Great question. I'd say it is a lot going on. But for me, what's worked personally, I know a lot of people put everything on one page. I actually
Mhm.
split up. my content on different platforms. I know
Right.
that if I'm constantly showing myself, I know the wolves that'll come, but I also know that the wolves help. Okay.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, wolf, like,
Right.
I
Right.
don't mind a wolf. But, I have other separate pages that are focused on the Dosho podcast and the merchandise. That's focused on the skincare. Now, with that comes a lot of hats to juggle. You have to keep up with the posting. But it's just that's social media. You have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have TikTok now going crazy. So if you're on it and you want to use these free platforms
Absolutely.
to make money, you can't care about the wolves or you can't care about what it looks like. You just have to work at it.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. And Mr. Loud TV, I'm not sure what this emoji means, but it looks. Oh, why would you bring these wolves out on here now?
The boy who cried wolf.
Listen, so this is dope. Now oh, that is so funny.
He's hilarious.
Okay, so what do we have new going on? I know you got so much going on with being an entrepreneur as well. Anything that we could expect coming up? Any surprises? Can we talk about that?
Well, I'll try to leave mystery there, but just like what we talked about, there's a lot that I have to teach as far as being a whole person and taking care of yourself holistically. And I've been working on myself for the past 3 months, head down, really focusing. So I want to share that knowledge with the world. It may be in a book form, it could be at a visual form, but it will be in a form that's available to everybody so that they can utilize those tools to actually do it themselves.
Sounds, I see you trying to scale it back.
Stay tuned.
I'm trying to squeeze what I can squeeze out, right? Because I know you're cooking up over there. I know you cooking up.
You already know.
I know you got something going on. So now let's talk about this whole LA life and living out there in LA and all of that stuff or whatever, because it could be interesting out there, living out there with the stars and Hollywood and all that stuff like that. Now, are you originally from LA or you moved to LA or?
No, I'm from the DMV. So my family's in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm from the East Coast, actually.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But I've been here 6 going on 7 years.
Now, with that being said, what was the transition like for you? Because I know it had to be interesting coming from the DMV and then coming out to Hollywood. So let's talk about that transition for you, going from that to the lights.
Well, I would say even home back in DC, I was always in the mix as a socialite. I love to just meet new people. So networking was a thing that I loved. But I realized the people are different, back home than here or anywhere else. LA is where people come to work. Right. So it's really all about making connections for a purpose. And so once you get over that fact that it's not like people are opportunists, but they really are just trying to work and trying to collaborate, and then you won't take so many things as offense. So what I see LA as is a place where there's opportunity. So it's not bad, but it's just not home.
Right. Well, ain't nothing gonna be like home.
Right.
You know how that is, And then what's so weird about it, when you get home, you get burnt out with home. You're like, man, I gotta get the hell out of here, man. Y'all do it.
Exactly. I know the feeling.
Right. We just, as people, do you think us as people, do you ever think that we'll ever be satisfied?
Never. Not me. Definitely not me. Definitely not.
We never satisfied. Do you think that it's just I wouldn't just say that it's a black thing. I wouldn't just say that it's a black thing. What you think?
No, everyone feels like this. I mean, even most importantly, the millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they still have to do more and more and more and more. But the smart ones, they know what they want. When you actually know what you want and know when to stop, then you can relax and enjoy time with family because you grind to disappear. That's my focus. So you just gotta make sure you disappear.
Yeah, that is true. Because coming from the MySpace times
Mhm.
into where we at right now, social media at times can be a bit much. You
Yeah.
know, and I do think that it has created opportunity
Hmm.
for a lot of people as well. From a woman perspective, and we're not judging or anything like that or whatever, but I do want to ask this question because you are a woman, and do you think that because I like the space that I feel like woman empowerment, I really feel like women are really getting just due in a lot of areas.
Hmm.
Um, but then I do feel like in a lot of areas too on social media, I do feel like some of the most being done too. As far as having a lot of representation, as far as for the younger ladies, the younger
Okay. Yeah.
girls or whatever. You kind of see where I'm going. I know I'm
Yeah.
probably
So,
the wrong way, probably, but I'm trying,
mhm.
Robin.
No, I hear you. I hear you. So do you think that you're asking, is there enough? Or is it
I don't think, yeah, that's what I'm asking because I
Mhm.
just feel like, and this may be a few years ago, but I just feel like maybe around the time when reality TV rolled in and all of this stuff or whatever started being like on the ultimate high and everything was a reality show and all of that.
Yeah.
I just feel like the representation,
Hmm.
um, it's not in its proper form as far as what younger girls are seeing because it's like this new mindset that's being set in. Like
Right.
yourself, for example, what you're representing is something that I think that is really, really great in a role model space.
Hmm.
Even though you wear your little nice outfits and all of that stuff or whatever, it's done in moderation. I think that is super dope. But I'm just saying, like, it bothers me at times because I just feel like things have changed from a mental aspect as far as what young girls are striving to be. Not,
Okay.
you know what I
I
mean?
got you. I follow you. I can speak to that. Um, so when you pointed out that, the things that I mix in, whether it's like how I dress and different things, that all goes into the role model that is for
Mhm.
young girls because there is no traditional doctor anymore where they have no life. And that's what I'm trying to break that idea. So I understand that you're uncomfortable seeing it, but it's not a bad thing. You just have to have substance with it.
Right.
If you call yourself an influencer, you have millions of followers, what are you really influencing? You can
Mm,
dress how you want, but are you just a content creator? Or are you actually influencing somebody to do something, to heal, to change a life, to learn a skill set? You have to
mm,
actually, it's okay with looking the way you look.
right.
You know what I mean? As long as it's not the reason why we traditionally dumb the way we look down in the hospital setting, we take the nails off, the color of the hair, is simply just not to distract the patient who's already going through a lot of stress. And we're adding on to this bias
Hmm.
unnecessarily. It's nothing wrong with it. Show up to work like that. But if it prevents you from doing something, with your hands, or if you're distracting the patient, it's unnecessary. But
Mm,
in your free time, in your personal life, be who you want to be. So that's why I think it is great that women who are smart are showing that, okay, hey, let me reel these women, these young girls in by looking like them,
hmm,
dressing like them, listening
hmm,
to the same music, doing the same activities that they do, but tell them it's okay to have some substance.
mm,
So I
mm,
think that's the new wave. It's not going to go back to the traditional. nursing outfit 24/7. It's just that we have lives, but we also want to save them.
I love that. I love the way you broke that down. Seriously.
Okay. Okay. I hope it answered your question.
Yeah, you definitely answered my question. You know, and I'm not trying to nail nobody to the cross.
I understand. I
I
understand.
just like to get different perspectives on different things because, you know, I just feel like the direction that things are going with so much of that space being pushed so far out in the front, which I do think that it's done purposely,
Mm-hmm.
um, to keep people distracted from wanting to become a pharmacist or wanting to become a doctor or an educator or you know, I'm not knocking anything that
I
anybody.
see more interest in the profession simply because it's relatable. You're
Mm,
not gonna, if you go to a doctor that's cold, yes, not caring about who you are, or someone who's asking you, how's your day, smiling, relating with you, like that's what makes people want to work with you or want to support or want to be like you. Every
mm,
celebrity that we all idolize, Beyonce, Rihanna, we all look up to, is because they made themselves relatable first.
mm,
So there's no, we could go back traditionally to that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And it's not what got me to, like I said, when I was looking on the MySpace days, that's not what inspired me to do what I'm doing. What inspired me was the fact that they had lives, because we all have mental health. We all have things that we want to do outside of just education. So don't put someone in a box, because you're not in a box.
mm-hmm,
You're, your family, women, female family. So why just put these lawyers, doctors in a box, because I think even when you are going into the profession, it's that whole, once again, the holistic, they look at that. They don't want just great grades and
mm-hmm.
all scholarships, and they will deny you still. What else do you do extracurricularly? I had a business applying into pharmacy school, and that's what they were like, wow, you did what? Tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being just smart anymore.
Right. You're right.
Well-rounded.
Right. Let me ask you this, and ladies, don't beat me up for this. I'm just a messenger.
It's okay, ladies. I got them.
Do you think that we're getting to a space to where it's just like women are getting to the point to where they don't need men anymore?
Oh God.
I know, ladies, listen, I'm just these thoughts are just coming out. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I want to ask these questions while I got you.
I mean,
because it's weird now. You can.
Are y'all getting out of a space where you don't need us? It works both ways. Why is it us that that needs you guys only?
Well, I personally feel like, you know, we need one another.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, but I'm seeing a lot of you know, just seeing a lot out there, and you know, I would hate for it to just indefinitely go to that space mentally,
right?
Because I just don't think that that's the way that the big man, you know, foreseen it.
I see.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing wrong with. I'm all for it. Women power. Yes, you can do anything. I'm all for that. But I don't want to get in a space to where, and vice versa for men as well, because I just feel like it brings balance.
Well, it's just okay. So back to what God has foreseen for everybody is, we don't know what that, it could be this could be what, you know, like I don't know.
Come on.
You know, I think everything happens for a reason, if that's what, you know, if you believe in God. So I think that it's all written, all of this. And I think there's nothing, just like the Black man, how as a whole we raised ourselves up from slavery to where we are. Was that foreseen? It's just that things evolve, people evolve, and it just becomes different where you need to figure out as a man with a woman who has a lot to offer, where can I fit in? Everybody needs everyone, you know, but it's just that now it's different. Oh, she doesn't need me to take out the trash. She already did it. Or, you know, so you got to find a different way. So you can't give up on learning the woman and what she actually needs, because even the most successful women, they really are needy and they're really dependent, because outside they're the man, in front of their, you know, at their office, at their pharmacy, they're the man. So when they come home, they want that femininity. So you just can't be intimidated by what she does outside. Worry about home, worry about protecting her feelings, and worry about securing her.
I loved it. Now, question here. Shout out to Crystal Howard's Girls. She said maybe she's calling me a lie. We're going to take it. I don't think I said that, but she said that's a lie.
I wish I could see these.
I'm finna put it up for you right now. She said, that's a lie. Women need men and women need men, period. No replacements. Now, I agree, Crystal. We agree with you, and that's what we're saying.
Yes.
You know, I just thought it's interesting. I think that it's interesting. Because you know, with me being in the entertainment business, I pay attention to a lot. I'm old school, you know, but you know, I'm tapped in, and it's just certain things that I guess bother me coming from a different space in life. You know, being around so many eras, seeing things, you know, going from the Wonder Years to, you know what I mean, and just seeing the space we're in right now. And I find myself at times, Robin, I'm not gonna lie to you now, we're being real now. I find myself at times really feeling sorry for the kids. You know,
why? Because of what they're seeing.
Well, not only what they're seeing, they're just exposed to so many things that we wasn't exposed to. And I just feel like in a way it's not really fair to them to be exposed to so much, because I feel like our parents did everything in their power. It might have been going on back then, but I didn't know, because my parents went out of their way to protect me from that. You know, even if they was watching a movie, rated R movie or something like that, or whatever, you come passing through the room trying to get something not to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You get up out of here now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I miss that too.
Out of their way to protect us from all of that stuff. And now it's like, man, look, everything goes, it's a law. Well, we have a right to, you know, it's like everything is just like, I just feel sorry for the kids in that regard, because it's like, you know, I feel like the social skills are being tampered with now. They don't really have the social skills. You know, they don't want to talk to nobody. Everybody just want to email you or text you or from the other room. Hey, what did you want? Or, you know, they got the games. I just feel like I just feel like it's just in a weird space right now. I just, you know, when I think about the youngsters are just really, you know, they missed out on so many things that we were able to enjoy, because now, you know, you got people snatching kids up. Now you got to be so on guard now.
With everything.
That
I can agree with. And so that's why it's important for men and women not to give up on each other, mature men and women, so that you can still cultivate that in your household. And, you know, just even whatever they see, you can't control that anymore. They're going to see it. But what do you instill? What do you instill in them at home? So, I think that, you know, we just can't have this toxic gender roles. We have to just kind of adjust and figure out a way that we can work together. Because women, like you said, I'm starting to think about things where, you know, they're like, oh, even like the quotes and the memes on these pages, like, oh, yeah. So I kind of see where you're coming from. So, you know, as long as it's not toxic, as long as you're, you know, utilizing your feelings, expressing yourself, nothing's wrong with that. But when you're trying to put someone down, that's where in a whole gender down, or men ain't, you know, anything, that's where it gets problematic. So for the kids, it's best that you cultivate that at home. You try to, you know, have a happy home, I guess I should say. But it is bad. I agree.
See, I just wanted to take you there. We're having such a good time, and
Oh my
I
God.
feel like we're having real conversation right now, and it's I just always find joy in just talking to interesting people like yourself, just to um, we can take the pharmacy stuff off for a little while
Mhm.
and talk like human beings and have real dialogue, because it's a lot of real stuff that's going on out here in the world, and you know we're not young bucks, and just being here witnessing it all. um I just find myself sometimes at a point to where I just don't know what to think anymore, and I don't
Well,
like
don't get
people.
discouraged. There's always benefits to this change in technology. There's always benefits. Your kids will grow up with the future, even if they only had their phone.
Mhm.
And that could never be done where they had to do hard labor or, things are changing. And I think it's not a bad thing. Like I said, everything in moderation. You can still control the access to how often your kids use the phone.
Mhm.
That's in your control. It's a device. You just pick it up and take it away from them, or say,
Right.
hey, this is family time, or hey, you guys go and play outside, get the kid a dog. There's many things that you can do to distract them from the distraction. The
So we
ultimate
can still
distraction.
incorporate some of the old with the new.
Yes, yeah,
Understand?
it's
Now,
possible.
Crystal is going off right now, and I got to put this comment up here. Shout out to Krista Howard's girls for really chiming in with us right here. She said men need to stand up, bullhorn emoji, and fight for their place in society in their personal family homes, and stop allowing social media weaken weaken their.
She's on your side, but I feel you, Crystal.
Crystal going hard right now.
But it's true. I mean, both,
It is. It
both,
really, really is.
both people.
Now, we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot. We've covered a lot. Um, and we do have some things that's coming up that you just can't just share it all with us right now. But I'm more than sure, once you come on the Vibe Show, you are a part of the Vibe family now, which means that whenever you got some stuff jumping off, I do want the exclusives, Robin, because
I got
I'm gonna be in your DM. I'm on you.
you. I
Like, yo,
got
hold up, I seen this post. I don't have that.
you. I don't have that. Send it
I
over.
don't have that. We need that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
listen, I have taken up enough of your time. I enjoy talking to you. I just think that it was amazing, and I knew it was going to be an amazing experience because, like I say, I follow you now, and I'm so glad that we happen to comment on the same person's post, which spiraled me to see a picture
Wow.
of you, and I'm like, it's amazing how this works. So
See?
I'm like, wait a minute.
See? It's some benefits to
I'm
this.
like, okay, cool. I've seen the picture or whatever. I'm like, let me go over here and see what's going on. I'm like, Dr. Robin, let me see. You know what I mean? I go over there, check out. I'm like, oh, we got a lot going on over here. And then as I'm digging in, and of course, I'm always do my research and everything. And I was like, wow, she's really amazing. She has a lot that she's offering the world.
Thank
And
you.
I just got excited about it. And I had to have you on my show. So, again, for me and the Vibe team, which is the Vibe Show and Vibe Promotions, we want to wish you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you are going to be doing in the future. And we cannot wait to get you back on here again.
Yes, I'm in full support of this show. You guys are amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And listen, before we get out of here, too, we got to get some shout outs. Let me go ahead on and give you shout outs to your loved ones, your staff, friends, haters, everybody you want to give a shout out to. Let's go ahead on and shout those people out. Give them their roses while they're here.
Yes, shout out to all my followers. Thank you guys for just supporting me. We know Mom Dukes. I love you so much.
Love you, Mama.
Dukes, all the way back home, but I'll
Yeah.
be there soon. And shout out to my assistant. She's been helping me in this interim. And just just the
What's her name, Robin? Okay,
Rennie.
shout her out for real. Don't do that like that.
Yes, yes. And just, everybody who supported me, got me thus far, just my education, all these things, and just the man upstairs, really. That's the
Gotta
ultimate shout
give it
out.
up to him. You have to give
And
it
shout
up to
out
him.
to y'all for
And
having me, seriously.
right, right. And Robin want to give a special thank you to all of the haters and everybody who we gotta give
We
it up.
gotta do it. We gotta do it.
We gotta thank them all the time because they're a form of motivation. And so, me and Robin, we thank y'all
Thank
so much. Thank
you so much.
y'all. And also, too, let's go ahead on and put those social platforms
Yes.
out there in any ways that people can connect with you, just to get more information or to order products. You have a lot going on. Let's put that information out there for them as well.
Right. So, of course, like I said, I have multiple pages on Instagram. So, my personal page is at Dr.Robin. That's Dr.Robin. You'll find a link in my bio with all of my websites outlined, as well as Muze Labs. He just posted. That's
Come
my
on now.
line. Yes. Then we have thedoshow.com. So that's where you can find the podcast as well as the podcast merchandise.
Absolutely. All y'all have to do, it's on the lower third, scrolling across the bottom. Y'all make sure y'all follow my sister at Dr.Robin. Y'all make sure y'all get connected on Instagram. And like she said, everything is there. She got all of the links, all of the handles. Everything is there. So stop playing games and get connected. You're on your phone right now. As soon as this interview is over with, stop playing games and go ahead on and follow my sis right now. And you guys get connected if you are interested in finding out more about the products and all of the beautiful things that she have to offer. Let's get connected, people. Let's get connected. Also, before we get out of here, too, for anybody that may be feeling low in spirit, lots been going on. It's been a hard year. Feel like we're kind of heading in a better place. We still got a long way to go, but anybody that may be low in spirit, you know, can you give them some words of uplift or inspiration before we get out of here?
Yes, yes. Like I said, just keep a positive mindset. Keep your best foot forward. Know the best is yet to come. Everything we've been through, we've got out of. And like you said, it's only time will tell how great we can all be. So just stay positive and just keep supporting one another and rooting for one another.
Absolutely. Listen, for everybody that's tuning in right now, you are tuned in with me and the very lovely Dr. Robin B. If you missed it, you definitely need to make sure that you go back and
Run it back.
because it was definitely amazing. Also, if you are not subscribed to the Vibe Show 97.9 official YouTube channel, I don't know what you're doing. Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe and become a family member of the Vibe Show 97.9. Subscribe. Also, if you are not tuned in to our radio station, I don't know what's going on. You're sleeping under a rock. Please log on today to our radio station official website. That's www.thevibeshow979.net, where we are playing music 24/7. I'm talking about not just the young music. We're playing everything old school. No, we're giving you a gumbo mix of everything. So you guys make sure y'all lock in on that for the latest updates and the event calendar on what we have going on, from the magazine to a whole host of a bunch of things that we got going on. So you guys make sure y'all check us out. Also, rush on over there to the App Store. And yes, we do have a mobile app. Look, you can carry the Vibe Show around with you on your phone 24/7 and jam out right there as well. Get connected, download the Vibe Show 97.9 mobile app, available in the Google App Store now. Get connected. Listen, me and the lovely Dr. Robin B, we are getting ready to get up out of here. We love y'all. Listen, it's a lot going on out here in the world. I don't know if you got the vaccine or not. I don't know. But continue to protect yourself. If you haven't, make sure that you continue to wear your mask. I know everybody getting back out there having a good time, but it's still out there, people. Take it serious. Love life. Value life. I love y'all. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only Dr. Robin B, my sister. Y'all make sure that y'all get connected. And let's put those social platforms out there one more time, Rob.
Okay, at Dr. Robin B, that's dr.robin B. And we also have at The Doe Show, and we also have at Muze.Labs.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. We out of here. We love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay blessed. Chase your goals.
Feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me. I mean, float on, float on, float on. This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me.